welcome to the channel. Today we are in the 2020 F-Pace SVR. This is actually my old car, and I traded this in on a 2022 Jeep Wrangler Rubicon 4xe. The dealer was nice enough to let me come back.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
And do a little video on this F-Pace because I feel like this is a pretty special car.
Very special.
And I want to share it with you guys and kind of talk through all the things that I love about this car, the things that I learned to live with, that didn't love so much, and the things that I hated about this car.
Oh no.
So, and then ultimately why I decided to trade this car in on a new Rubicon. Those of you who are familiar with this car, you know that it's a supercharged 5-liter V8, 550 horsepower, 500 and some odd foot-pound of torque, made it to 8-speed ZF automatic transmission, power going to all 4 wheels. This particular one has some upgrades. It's sitting on 22-inch wheels from the factory. Standard is 21. It's got chrome package, which I think is a great option if you're going to get one of these. Covers up a lot of the gloss black. Yeah, I really enjoyed this car. I had it through the winter here in Utah. It was actually really good in the winter. It's on all-season tires, but they're still fairly sporty. So you get an enjoyable ride, but it's still pretty dang safe and lots of traction, pretty good clearance. You know, you are on performance wheels, 22-inch wheels, so the profile of the tire is pretty small. So you don't really want to be hitting a bunch of like tree roots and potholes.
Oh, son of a... That's gonna leave a mark.
Has heated steering wheel, heated and cooled front seats, heated back seats. Has this beautiful panoramic sunroof. I really love these seats. The quilted leather, the bucket seat style. I think they look awesome and they're super comfortable. Things I love about this car, the power, obviously, the sound. So it does have an exhaust button where you can turn on active exhaust. Becomes almost comical, makes me giggle every time. This has multiple drive modes. We're in just the normal mode. It also has an eco mode, bad weather, kind of snow, rain mode, and then it has a dynamic performance. So all of the systems that are controlled by this include the steering, the throttle response, the throttle mapping, the exhaust, note, suspension, right? So depending on what mode you're in, it kind of sets all those things. The cockpit zone is nice. I like the digital screen that have the gauge in the middle or on the side and kind of set that up how you want. Steering wheel is actually super comfortable, perforated leather. It's heated, has a really nice SVR logo, Jaguar logo. The paddle shifters are awesome. They're big and metal. They have punch through plus and minus, which is really cool, I think. The infotainment area, this is one area where it really kind of lets down. Feels like it's a generation behind. Kind of dated. It's got this widescreen. Graphics aren't great. They're okay, but it's nothing spectacular here. Climate zone, I do love that it has actual buttons for everything. Volume knob, and you can control the climate control and the stereo and everything. Kudos to Jag for keeping some of those buttons. Let's talk about the entertainment system. This has the Harman Kardon upgrade. It's awful. It's a complete letdown. Oh, the panoramic sunroof is awesome. One thing that's kind of unusual, I don't love, is that there's no one-touch open. You can one-touch open and close all the windows, but not the pano. It's kind of weird to me.
Are you gonna cry, Jim? Do you need a tissue?
So this car actually has a tow package on it, but I got it with the tow package because I wanted to put a bike rack on it. But honestly, once I got this car and I drove it a little bit, it's just too nice of a car to take to the trailhead, in my opinion, and like get dirty in and go ride your mountain bike, get muddy, put your muddy dog in it. It's way too nice of a car. There's Alcantara headliner.
Nice.
The seats are incredible, but perforated. You get, you know, dirt and junk in there if you're not careful. I bought this car thinking it would be kind of like a one quiver car. You could have like a sports car, SUV that was fun to drive and fast, but also do everything I wanted to. And
One ring to rule them all.
Trail running and mountain biking and hiking and camping, that kind of stuff. Way too nice. So I definitely would not do that. in this car. That's one reason I didn't keep it and ended up trading this in for the Rubicon, is I just need a car that I'm not so worried about. Oh, fuel economy, let's see, 16 miles per gallon. So not great, kind of to be expected. It's a 5-liter supercharged V8. You're not really getting this for fuel economy. The thing about this car that I'm remembering now is there's a little bit of this electric sound when you hit the gas pedal.
Want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
I don't know what it is. I actually took it in a Jaguar and had them look at it. They didn't really know what it was either. They thought it was maybe some kind of a code, so they did a reset, but that didn't fix it. It has this incredible exhaust note and sounds incredible in some sense, but in other ways, there's just something with the entertainment system on this thing. It really lets it down. Got a backup camera, a nice trajectory, you know, nothing super fancy, but it's helpful, useful. Okay, a couple other things I remember that I don't like about this car. There are 2 USB ports. They're both in the center console here, and there's no channel for a cable to come out of the center console. So if you plug your phone in, you kind of have to pinch the phone cable.
Welcome home! Don't pinch me!
Which I think is just bad design, unless they want you to keep the phone in there for safety or something. But there are no other power outlets. There's no 12 volt. If you want to have like a radar detector or something, they're hardwired in or run it all the way back here to the rear passenger. There is a cigarette lighter 12 volt back here. So that's kind of weird to me.
Weird, right?
You know, for the most part, this car is incredible. I think it looks fantastic, especially on the 22s and in this color combination, the tinted windows and everything. I think it looks mean. When you combine that with the way that this exhaust sounds, it gets a lot of attention.
Forget about it.
But in some ways, it kind of flies under the radar too, because one of the things I really love about this car is that it has that dual personality. If you want to go crazy and aggro, like right now, I'll put it over into dynamic mode, and then you can push the ZF auto over to the left. This is its most aggressive setting. So in this setting, you put your foot down and it just goes. I mean, it's 0 to 60 in 4.1 seconds.
I want that.
The way that I would drive this car, it's not really a canyon carver because it's so heavy. So it's really just like straight line, you know, on-ramp stuff. So I would actually just take it out and just go hunting for red lights or on-ramps and just basically full send from a stop and just giggle. The other thing that I would love to do with this car is turn the exhaust on full blast, open the sunroof, find underpasses, light up the exhaust. So let's talk about value. $92,000 for this car. Kind of competes with the GLC 63 AMG, BMW X3. It's not really as sought after as the other vehicles in the segment. It is more rare in that sense, which is, if that's what you're looking for, I think is really cool. You could have something that's unique. You're not going to see a lot of these. It's just not very known either. There's not a lot of people looking for this car. So it might be a little harder to resell, which is actually what I found. So it's a unique niche market. If you want to be part of an exclusive club of supercar level SUV, this is a good choice. And the newer model redone all the tech, and it's much improved. Probably can get a hold of one of those for not a whole lot more than one of these, actually. So if you're in the market for one of these, I would look for one that has the interior facelift updates. The other nice thing about Jag is their warranty and their service is all included. They have a 5-year, 60,000 mile full bumper to bumper warranty.
Wow.
Whereas the competition's doing like 450s. So you get a really good warranty, and in my experience, the Jaguar service has been excellent. Okay, I just remembered something else I don't like. It actually just happened. These brakes, they're not the carbon ceramics or anything like that, but they are squeaky.
I heard a lot of squeaking sounds.
Just every once in a while, you'll be driving totally dry. There's no like reason they should be squeaky, and they'll squeak, and they just did that. So they have great stopping power, but for some reason they're a little bit squeaky. This car is fun. Man, it gets attention, especially when the exhaust is on. People are shocked at the sound that comes out of this thing.
I feel shocked.
I mean, it sounds like a NASCAR race car. If you don't want that, you just turn that off. So we're gonna turn it on right now and see if you can hear any of that goodness. Yeah, so when you're in dynamic mode, and then if we go into Sport here, it basically just turns everything up to the nines. I don't know if you can hear those overruns. Can you hear that? Ridiculous. I am sad to see this thing go, but honestly, I'm very excited for the next vehicle. You know, one thing, driving up here about 30 miles on the freeway in the Jeep, it's very different than driving in this. This is uber comfortable, just quiet, very planted. So hopefully you enjoyed this little review. 2020 F-Pace SVR. I would rate it fairly high. I think value-wise, there's probably not a great value, honestly, in my opinion. I think I'd rather probably have that 92,000 into two cars, one that's kind of fun, you know, like a Jeep Wrangler or something, and one that is more sporty, you know, like maybe a Golf R, a Golf GTI, something like that. So for me, I'd rather split this up into two cars. If you're someone who's willing to spend $92,000 on one car, and maybe you have multiple cars, this would be fun to have in the quiver for sure. So thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you on the next one.